न हि प्रपश्यामि ममापानुद्याद्
न हि प्रपश्यामि ममापनुद्यात्
यच्छोकम् उच्छोषणम् इन्द्रियाणाम्
यच्छोकमुच्छोषणमिन्द्रियाणाम्
अवाप्य भूमा असपत्नम् वृद्धम्
अवाप्य बुभाव सपत्नमृद्धम्
राज्यं सुराणाम् अपि चाधिपत्यम्
राज्यं सुराणाम् अपि चाधिपत्यम्.
I can find no means to drive away this grief which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to dispel it, even if I win a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth with sovereignty like demigods in heaven. Okay, Manish Prabhu, please read the purport. I think we
Okay.
did it, but we'll repeat it again.
Yeah. Although Arjuna was putting forward so many arguments based upon knowledge of the principles of religion and moral codes, it appears that he was unable to solve his real problem without the help of the spiritual master Lord Sri Krishna. He could understand that his so-called knowledge was useless in driving away his problems, which were drying up his whole existence, and it was impossible for him to solve such perplexities without the help of a spiritual master like Lord Krishna. Academic knowledge, scholarship, high position, etc. are all useless in solving the problems of life. Help can be given only by a spiritual master like Krishna. Therefore, the conclusion is that a spiritual master who is 100% Krishna conscious is the bona fide spiritual master, for he can solve the problems of life. Lord Chaitanya said that one who is a master in the science of Krishna consciousness, regardless of his social position, is the real spiritual master. Kiva Vipra, Kiva Nyashi, Sudra Kene Naya, Ye Krishna Tattva Vetta, say Guru Haya. It does not matter whether a person is Vipra, learned scholar in Vedic, learned scholar in Vedic wisdom, or is born in a lower family, or is in renounced order of life. If he is a master in the science of Krishna, he is the perfect and bona fide spiritual master. Chaitanya Chaitamrit Madhya 8.128. So, without being a master in the science of Krishna consciousness, no one is a bona fide spiritual master. It is also said in the Vedic literature, Sat karma nipuno vipro, mantra tantra visartah, avaishnavo gurur na syad, vaishnava swa pacho guruha. A scholarly Brahmana, expert in all subjects of Vedic knowledge, is unfit to become a spiritual master without being a Vaishnava or expert in the science of Krishna consciousness. But a person born in a family of a lower caste can become a spiritual master if he is Vaishnava or Krishna conscious. Padma Purana. The problems of material existence, birth, old age, disease, and death cannot be counteracted by accumulation of wealth and economic development. In many parts of the world, there are states which are replete with all the facilities of life, which are full of wealth and economically developed. Yet the problems of material existence are still present. They are seeking peace in different ways, but they can achieve real happiness only if they consult Krishna or the Bhagavad, Gita, and Srimad Bhagavatam, which constitute the science of Krishna. Though the bona fide representative of Krishna, the man in Krishna consciousness. Oh, sorry. Through the bona fide divinity of Krishna, the man in Krishna consciousness. If economic development and material comforts could drive away one's limitations for family, social, national, or international inebriaties, then Arjuna would not have said that even an unrivaled kingdom on earth or supremacy like that of the demigods in the heavenly planets would be unable to drive away his lamentations. He sought, therefore, refuge in Krishna consciousness, and that is the right path for peace and harmony. Economic development or supremacy over the world can be finished at any moment by the catastrophic, by the the cataclysms of material nature. Even elevation into a higher planetary situation, as men are now seeking on the moon planet, can also be finished at one stroke. The Bhagavad Gita confirms this. Thine punye martya lokam visanti. When the results of Thine punye martya lokam visanti. When the results of pious activities are finished, one falls down again from the peak of the happiness to the lowest stresses of life. Many politicians of the world have fallen down in that way. Such downfalls only constitute more causes for lamentation. Therefore, if we want to curb lamentation for good, then we have to take shelter of Krishna as Arjuna is seeking to do so. So Arjuna asked Krishna to solve his problem definitely, and that is the way of Krishna consciousness.
Very good,
Hare Krishna.
very good. So can you summarize this for us? What are the key points?
So the first key point, Prabhu, here is that like the real problems of life, which is there in the material world, can only be solved by taking shelter of a Krishna conscious spiritual guru. So basically, there are like three options which is given here. Like the main option is like consult Krishna, then either through Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. But we can only consult Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and that we can understand only through a spiritual master who is a proper Krishna conscious. And it does not matter that if he's in born in a family of a like very rich or like very vidwan like Vipra he's saying, or he's like maybe born in a very low caste family. A person can be like Krishna conscious, like he is taking shelter of a proper spiritual master. And in towards the end, I think it's talking about like people who are like riding rapidly, and like they are so so basically like they have like some punyas like in their past which are causing them to like rise rapidly in their life. But if they're like not accumulating new like karmas, like who are like punyas, they are going to fall down very soon and very rapidly. Like so many politicians who like rose to fame, and they just like got forgotten in our this material world.
Yeah, very good point. So problems of material existence, birth, death, old age, and death cannot be counteracted by accumulation of wealth and economic development. Right? Like people used to think, we also used to think, right? Once we go to America, all the problems will be solved. We came
Yeah.
here. Have all the problems been solved?
No, looks like
We
we
have
want
new
more.
problems now.
Yeah, new problem.
Accumulation of wealth. I mean, America is a fairly wealthy country, right? Compared to so many countries. Very, very wealthy, huge highways, huge facilities, for just about everything. So yeah, there is some amount of comfort is there, no doubt. But have the problems of life been gone away? Like have people stopped taking birth? Have people stopped becoming old? Have people stopped getting diseases? And have people stopped dying? That's the fundamental point, right? Nothing, none of this happened. One of my colleague the other day went into the office. He was saying, "Oh, they put a pacemaker in his heart." He's not that old, maybe 55 years old, but already all the problems are catching up with him. And he was saying one of his friends went to the Indian subcontinent and then he died. He never came back here, back to the US. So the disease, like putting a pacemaker in the heart, that could not be solved just because he's, had a very good job and living in a very nice 4-bedroom home. None of the problems were solved. He had to put in a pacemaker. And his friend, he just goes back home and he dies. He never comes back. Right? So old age, disease, death, he cannot stop. And once we die, again we are born. So even birth is cannot be stopped. Right? So accumulation of wealth, actually, America has a good amount of wealth, right? Here in the Dallas area, people have big, big houses, very nice houses. But these four problems are unable to be solved. Everything else is being solved. Right? Most of the material problems can actually be solved. But these 4 problems can never be solved. That is the point, Srila Prabhupada. Then he says, right, there are many states. State means nation states, like countries, which are replete with facilities of life, which are full of wealth and economically developed. Is it not true? Here, you have very good medical facilities, very good. If you go to Kroger or PFC or Safeway, pretty much whatever you want is there. I mean, not 100%, still 70-80% of life's requirements are all there. No problem at all. Compared to communist Russia, where half the things are not available. I went to Russia. If you go to the stores, not everything is available. Certain things are available, but not everything is available. Here, you name it, you get it. Right? For any kind of item, 20 different flavors will be there. Right? Ice cream, if you go to a store, there is peach ice cream, almond ice cream, banana ice cream, pecan ice cream, almond ice cream, right? You just name it. But still, those main problems they're unable to solve. That is the point Srila Prabhupada wants to make. And how do you solve those problems? If they consult Krishna or Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the science of Krishna. How? Through a bona fide representative of Krishna, the man in Krishna consciousness. So actually, Prabhupada didn't say I am that. He was just saying, in general, he was making that statement, but he's actually having all those qualifications, right? He's a bona fide representative. And then, what does Prabhupada say? If economic development and material comforts could drive away all lamentations for family, social, or national, international inebriety. Inebriety means like drunken state. Nasha. That is called inebriety. If, Srila Prabhupada starts with if, then Arjuna would not have said that unrivaled kingdom on earth or supremacy like that of demigods would be unable to drive his lamentations. So even a big kingdom on the planet earth or supremacy like demigods or devatas, unable to drive. What are they trying? Unable to drive? Lamentation. Means these anxieties that he has, this pida or bhada that he has, right? Unable to drive away. So it is true. I mean, we are after small things. Oh, if I can get a 4-bedroom in Samamis, that itself is a great achievement in life. Right?
Yeah.
In India, it is like 2 BHK, 3 BHK, flat. If you have that is achievement. Here, we have higher desires. Not flat, but independent home. That is our goal. But here, Arjuna is saying unrivaled kingdom. He would have been the Bhupati, right? So, Mahabharat means not just Bharat of India. Mahabharat means the complete planet. He would have won. He would have been the king of his 5 brothers would have been the kings of the Mahabharat. They said no, still it cannot drive away lamentations. So why? Chine punyamartha lokam vishanti. Even if he goes to heaven, what happens? After you finish your punya karma, martya lokam. Martya lokam means place of death, which is earth. So devatas call this, when they look down, they say, oh, that place, this place of death. All the time people are dying. Martya lokam. Marte dam tak, they say, right? Till the point of death. So Martya lok means where people die. Vishanti means you fall down to death loka. So the devatas, when they look at our loka, right? They have this, they look down upon us. You know what the meaning is? Look down upon us. It is like lower class life. So whether you are Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos, this life is lower class life according to devatas. According to rishis, above the devalok, like from Maharlok, Janalok, Tapalok, for them, when they look down upon heaven, they say, oh, that is low class. You see the point? So we are leading a low class life in this material world here on earth. It's all relative, but everybody is low class. So marte dam tak. We are wasting our time. What are we doing? We're taking birth and we're dying. So Prabhupada says, okay, take to Krishna consciousness. That is the goal. I mean, every purport of his is, no matter what the subject is, no matter what these, verse is, right? He always talks about, this is waste of time. Get out, get out. So, any commentary, any thoughts?
But I think that I like the last line, like where it says, like when the results of pious activities are finished, then like whatever you are going to fall down.
Yeah. Everybody. We all fell down, right? You
Yeah.
don't have to look at anybody else. Just look in the mirror. अरे यहाँ
Yeah.
कहाँ फंस गए हम लोग आकर, right? From time to time we think. At least I think. I mean, I thought going to America would be like going to Swargalok. After I came here, I'm saying, अरे यहाँ कहाँ फंस गए हम लोग. Everything is so complex here, right? If you don't pay a bill, all of a sudden late fees accumulate. So many things. So Martilok is the place of, I mean, that is only material, like financial problems. But ultimate problem is everybody dies here, right? In Vaikunta, nobody dies. It's just like they're there. Here we raise our kid with so much love. But if you really think about it, you will die, they will also die. So we have to come to the conclusion, why am I getting stuck here, and get out? So Sunil, any thoughts?
Yeah, Braji, but most of the people are not worried about birth, death, and old age disease. They are just
Yeah, that's because Durga Devi, Maya Devi gives them some toys to play with. Right? If the dog comes to you, if you throw some biscuits at the dog will eat and forget everything. She'll think she's, in paradise. So Durga Devi is also throwing some small biscuits at us. Like
yeah,
I
they say that why wasting time thinking of something which is going to come, like disease or death. So
yeah, but in a mental hospital, if you go and say something, oh, आप ये पागलखाना में कैसे पहुंच गए? How did you come to this mental hospital? He'll say, I am not pagal, you are pagal. He'll say, तुम पागल हो. So we are living in a mental hospital here, right? So in the mental hospital, everybody thinks they're clean and everybody else is mental. Have you not seen these old movies where they show a mental hospital?
Yes,
yeah.
so right.
It's like that, right? In the mental, nobody will say in the mental hospital that they're crazy. They'll say everybody else around them is crazy. Right? It's the same thing here. Everybody is crazy. They're mental, but they're saying, okay, no, this is the right thing. And even amongst the materialists, right? Even among the people who are not into devotional line, they consider each other crazy. Have you not observed this? Like one father will say, see, my son became a doctor. What is this computer science nonsense? Your son, my son is better than your son.
Yeah.
Then somebody else will come and say, in an expensive car, will come and say, see, look, I'm a lawyer. Whenever I win a case, I get $100,000. What is this working for the whole year for 100,000? So even amongst materialists, everybody thinks that they are superior to the other guy.
Yeah, they say that those who are not materially conscious, they are less efficient. That's why they are running from the
Yeah, but if you're more
reality.
efficient, okay, you accumulate more money, what will you do? You'll buy more things, right? Or you'll buy more properties.
For future generation, that is good. That's what.
Oh, future generation, and the son will become so proud that he will not even take care of you because you have given him too much wealth. First of all, your son is not your son, right?
Yeah.
How is he your son? He was just born for half an hour work.
Technically,
Practically for the women, for 9 months they are carrying. But for man, it's only half an hour work. Not even half an hour, 10 minutes. How is your son? Yeah. So one has to think through this, right? Yeah. I mean, certain amount of mental comfort is necessary. Krishna consciousness doesn't mean you live miserably in a hut or sleep under a bridge. Nobody's asking you to do that. Certain amount of mental comfort is necessary. That's okay. Roti kapda makan is necessary. But beyond that, where is your consciousness? Now in Dallas, there are cricket teams. So one cricket team beating the other cricket team. You ask them to come to temple, they'll say, no, I have to go to my cricket. They have leagues.
Mhm.
So at least Seattle, it's a little better. Here, if you come, Maya is more powerful here. It's like that. Okay. Sanjaya Uvacha
Sanjay Vacha.
Cha-
Evam Uktva Hrishikesham
Evam Uttva
Evam
Rishikesha
Rishikesham.
Gudakeshaha Parantapa
Gudakesha
Kesha
Parantapa.
Parantava
Nayotsya iti Govindam
Naya Utsya
Iti
iti Govindam
Uktva Tusnim Babuvaha.
Uktva
Uttva Tashnim
Babuvaha.
Bhuva.
Like, to your earlier point, Sunil, even amongst devotees, right? Like at one point, I used to go every day to the temple. So some devotees are saying, hey, Prabhu, why do you have to go every day? Just go for Sunday feast. Right? So this mental quality is even amongst the devotees to a certain extent. So one person was saying, balance. You need to have balance. Little bit of this and little bit of that. But wow, I mean, if something is good, won't you want to do more of it?
Yeah.
This happened to me. He's like, why do you have to go every day to temple?
Yeah, people say, I was
Hey,
talking to my cousin that he was saying that whatever he is a Mayavadi. He's he's saying there is nothing called bhakti.
yeah.
Whatever you are.
So there's a saying, Mayavada Bhashya Sunle Hoye Sarvanash. So if you listen to your cousin for 2 months or 3 months, that's it. You'll stop coming to this class and you'll become like him or worse
The
than.
main thing is he was a devotee long time back. Something happened in his life and he
Yeah. I
started
mean, this
thinking,
all happens, right? Basically, like for example, you lose a job, all of a sudden you lose confidence in everything.
"Hmm,
But when you were born, was your goal to work in Amazon or Microsoft or something? When you were like 3 years old, oh, what do you want to be? Oh, I want to work 10 hours a day in Microsoft. Was that what your goal was? You just wanted to be happy, right? Just play happily. Papa is taking care of everything, right?
hmm,
That is a natural tendency of a soul, just to be happy. All these things we created. We created later, right? The original intention when you were a child was none of this stuff. And then you start
yeah,
comparing with each other. So one mental fellow is saying, see, I'm carrying 2 kgs on my head. The other mental fellow says, only 2 kgs? Ha ha ha, I'm carrying 10 kgs. And the third mental fellow will come and say, only 10 kgs, I'm carrying 50 kgs. And he's like almost about to fall. He'll say, yeah, I slipped a little bit, but you see, I'm better than you guys. I'm carrying 50 kgs on my head. So all of them are carrying, right? Hey, weights. One fellow will say, he'll take everything off his head and say, relax. Then he'll say, why are you so relaxed? Then what should I do? You should also carry some weight, right? You see the point? Once people start carrying weight, like, I know many of my colleagues here have two, three, four houses. So one house itself is a headache, but now 4 houses means more headache. Isn't it true or not?
Yeah, that's true. But for them, it is a sweet headache, it
No,
seems.
because if you don't have anything else, if you take off the weight from their head, they'll say, "Arey, I feel very uneasy, man. Put that weight back on my head."
Yeah.
So there's a story, right? Probably you already know this. There was an old lady walking. So Parvati will say, Shiva, why don't you help her? So Shiva will not take a dress of an old man and go say, "Oh, Mata, what are you doing? You're carrying such a big, load of sticks on your right shoulder. What should I do? Can I help you?" She says, "Yeah, can you lift that and put it on my left shoulder?" Has the problem been solved?
No.
No.
What she should have asked is, can you arrange for somehow this firewood to come every day to my village? Right? But what
Mm.
did she ask?
To change the
Just change the load from one
load.
shoulder to the other
Yeah.
shoulder. Right? So what we did in India, we were struggling with X. So we came to America and we are struggling with Y. The struggle has
Yeah,
continued.
coming to America is not expecting that here it is heaven or something like that, Prabhu.
No,
But
no, no. I used to think like that. Believe it or not. I used to think if I go to America, like I used to watch Hollywood movies, right? Everything looks so
Same
nice.
for me
अरे
too.
अमेरिका जाएंगे सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा. So anything change? Nothing changed. Yeah, I'm living in with a home with a nice road in the front and nice lawn. That's about it. Right? So this is what you're carrying weights. So if you think about it, right, you're carrying certain amount of weight, and somebody's saying, "Hey, you look too relaxed. You should carry some more weight, man." And they cannot take it. Hey, how can you go to temple and dance for 1 hour? You should also suffer like me. Be miserable.
there are people in companies also. They like to be workaholic. They work
Yeah,
continuously.
if you don't have higher taste, then something has to fill the void, right? If you have a container, 1 liter jug, 1 liter jug, okay? There is
Mm.
only like water till 1/4. 3/4 of the jug is empty. So you would like to fill it. Otherwise, you'll feel uncomfortable.
And that thing they can also tell about us, right, Prabhu?
Yeah, so we are filling it with Krishna consciousness. They don't know how to fill it, so they're filling it with more work. So, let them be them and let you be you. That's it. What else can you do? If you can help them somebody by giving some knowledge. But if the other person is very stubborn, you move on. That's it. You just smile and move on. He'll think you are crazy and you'll think they are crazy and you move on. That's it. So why are you worried about them or the Mayavadi friend or this or that? You do your thing because you have higher knowledge, right? Okay.
Yeah, but most of the people are on the other side. We see only
Not
less.
most. 99.9999%
Yeah, that's right.
are on the other side.
So most of
So you
them,
don't care about them, right? So then you should know, Are, I am in a special club. I am in something doing something unique.
yeah. Then the argument or the dispute
But why do you
starts.
have to argue
Debate,
with them?
debate
You don't
start.
argue with them, right? You smile and move on. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. But unfortunately, people are coming for to meet for argument.
Which means you are in the wrong association.
No, in the temple itself. That's what.
In a temple,
Mm.
who is telling that you are not doing right?
No, no, they have a different concept of. I think I already told. Like there are some people who have a different understanding, not a pure Krishna consciousness.
Oh, like
So
what? What is their understanding?
they're more like a Mayavadi
Yeah,
philosophy.
but see, in a
They,
mental hospital, everybody comes for cure. So they
mm,
are in the mental hospital, you are in the mental hospital. But they have their disease a little bit more severe. They'll take longer to cure. But you can cure yourself very quickly and move on.
yeah.
Srila Prabhupada said that ISKCON is like a rectificatory institution. It's like a hospital. So you come there for cure. So you worry about yourself. Why do you worry about them?
Yeah. So probably like on the same point, I want to like, so basically every morning when we go to the Bhagavatam classes, we take places, right? Like, so one of the places is like like preaching to a non-devout. I'm sorry, atheist is mm, like a crime in our Krishna consciousness. So I wanted to like understand this point more, like on the same point, like if you don't preach to an atheist, how we will help them then?
No, the preaching is not just talking. Preaching is giving prasadam, giving them nice festivals so that they get attracted. And one day they'll forget that they are an atheist. They'll start liking it.
Okay.
So Srila Prabhupada used to say that when you have jaundice, right, sugar tastes bitter. What is the solution? You just keep giving sugarcane juice. They keep drinking it little bit, little, and slowly they'll get that sweet taste back.
Yeah.
You know this for jaundice, one of the cure is sugarcane juice.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's it. So you keep giving them prasadam. Don't even talk to them. Just do your activities with enthusiasm. They'll say, "Arey, this fellow knows something that I don't know." That's it. Like
So
I'll tell
basically,
you, my roommate from college for 18 years, 19 years, he argued with me. Last year, around November, December, he took a Srimad Bhagavatam set.
oh, oh,
Yeah, like a pakka atheist. But because he saw that I'm not giving up. Then I just finally said, "Oh, why don't you take a Srimad Bhagavatam?" He said, "Yeah, you know something that I don't know. Let me also read that book." So he took a set. He was my
Yeah,
roommate in college. I know him very well.
that's what Prabhu I'm saying. I was saying it's not a kind of argument. These people are always there, right?
No, the
You
people
are
will
maintaining
always be there, right?
you are maintaining relationship with him for 20 years. You said.
Yeah, that's
So,
okay. Maintaining relationship doesn't mean that you become like them, right? When they come to your
no,
place, if
there
you
will
greet
be a
them nicely,
debate and exchange of ideas, right? So in that
no.
sometimes.
But don't debate with them. See, you should only play kabaddi. You should go deep into that other party's zone only if you know you can come back.
Mm.
Otherwise, you stay near the central line and say kabaddi, 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 and run back into your territory. That's it.
yeah.
Right. So, see, part of the problem is that you are associating too much with them. So, come to Mangalarti every day read Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, every day chant 16 rounds. Then you will have the strength to fight with them. If you don't have the strength, if you send a lame 62-pound person into kabaddi onto the opposite direction, the other group will pounce on him and capture him. But if you are strong, then they will touch you, but you can still escape and come back to territory. So our strength is also required. Like Prabhupada's time, one person was telling Prabhupada, I want to preach in nightclub. So Prabhupada said, go, but come back. Don't stay there. Don't you become like them. Because typically you don't go to a nightclub and preach, right? Because everybody's in that intoxicated situation. What do? You call them to your territory during the day when he's not drunk, and then give him some prasad and show him a different alternate way of life. You know that he's going to nightclub, that's okay. But you don't have to go there to preach. Right? So we don't have the strength. So don't even for a second think that we are so strong that we can go into enemy territory and ladkar wapas aunga, I say. We are not like that. We don't even need to be like that. Just do your thing, chant your Hare Krishna, read the books. You give them some prasadam once in a while, cook nicely, offer to Krishna, give it to them. They'll have a friendly attitude towards you. And hopefully someday they'll become. See, my roommate, after 18, 19 years, he took it, right? So we are not here to prove a point or anything like that. They will come. If not in this lifetime, next lifetime. Not easy. Okay, so Sunil Prabhu, please read this.
Sanjaya said, having spoken thus, Arjuna, chastiser of enemies, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight, and fell silent. Dhritarashtra must have been very glad to understand that Arjuna was not going to fight and was instead leaving the battlefield for the begging profession. But Sanjaya disappointed him again in relating that Arjuna was competent to kill his enemies, Parantava. Although Arjuna was for the time being overwhelmed with false grief due to family affection, he surrendered unto Krishna, the supreme spiritual master, as a disciple. This indicated that he would soon be free from the false lamentation resulting from family affection and would be enlightened with perfect knowledge of self-realization or Krishna consciousness, and would then surely fight. Thus, Dhritarashtra's joy would be frustrated, since Arjuna would be enlightened by Krishna and would fight to the end.
Yeah. So Arjuna, Krishna, remember said, see, compassion, enjoyment, destruction of family tradition, fear of sinful reactions, and finally indecision, CEDSI, the acronym. So he has come to that I right now, indecision. He's saying, I shall not fight.
This purport is actually Prabhupada's this imagination, not imagination. It's correct only, but it's not the explanation of the verse, right?
No, it is, right? Arjuna said, I will not fight.
Yeah, but
Prabhupada is giving
Prabhupada is
commentary.
from
Prabhupada is giving commentary that Arjuna's overwhelmed with false grief is due to false affection. Is it not true?
No,
He has
that's
affection
correct.
towards his family members. I will not, because he knows once he starts fighting, they will all be killed. Right? So it's not meditation. It is called commentary. For example, if you are in office, well, what is your profession? What do you do? Programming, program management. What do you do?
Programming.
Programming, right?
Yeah.
So somebody writes a long program with if then else, like 500 times if then else. And then you come and do object-oriented programming and you keep it in a loop, and their program is 500 lines, your program is only 8 lines. So then you give a commentary. Look, Baba, there is this object-oriented programming where you don't have to write the if then else 500 times. All you have to do is write in this object that logic, and the object is called 500 times. Right? That is what the goal of object-oriented programming is. You don't write the same thing. When I first started programming, I used to write everything, repeat, like English language, right? But no, programming is an art. You can do the whole thing in 5 to 8 lines.
What I meant
So
is,
then, are you wrong in explaining that there is an alternate way of doing it? You have superior knowledge. Therefore, you are able to say. Same thing, Prabhupada has superior knowledge. So he is giving the hidden meaning between Arjuna's wanting to fight. So a lot of people criticize also, right? They'll say, oh, I will read the Bhagavad Gita, but not Prabhupada's purports. Prabhupada's purports.
actually, this purport is very nice. In other Bhagavad Gita translations, for this verse, they will just translate the meaning of the verse. But here, Prabhupada is talking about the Dhritarashtra's mindset. That is actually...
Yeah, so he's giving more commentary.
Yeah.
Just like you can give more commentary on how object-oriented program is superior to writing code in a plain English language type, right? Like, for example, you can say, go enter the house. Or you can say, you can enter the house through the left gate. You can enter the house through the front. You can enter the house through the back kitchen door. Or you can make a hole in the roof and enter the house. That's a foolish way of saying, right? Or you say, hey, why don't you go into the house? Right? That's what it say. Even a kid will figure out, all right, there are 3 entrances, Baba. If front entrance is closed, I'll go through side entrance. Kids like to do all these plays, right? Hide and seek. So somebody will hide in the side door. Somebody goes to the front, or I didn't find it, then you'll go to the side door, like that. So, yeah, Govinda, I shall not fight. All he said is one line. But behind it, there is so much meaning. His false affection, his pride. First of all, who is he? He should follow instruction of his Guru Krishna, but he is making his own decisions. So, this is not like Srila Prabhupada is making this up. He is giving based on his experience, right? Spiritual experience. Just like your friend may think that you are crazy because you are going to the temple too often. But based on your experience, you are saying, oh, this is actually superior to what I would have done 10 years ago. 10 years ago, you might be playing cricket on a Saturday afternoon. Or a Friday evening, you might be watching a movie, but now you are coming to Bhagavad Gita class. Right? So it's not like you're crazy. You just have better experience. You have come to a conclusion that this is definitely superior. So yeah, based on his spiritual experience, his purports are, Srila Prabhupada said, my purports are my ecstasies, spiritual ecstasies. Okay. Tamuvacha Hrishikeshaha
Tamuvacha Rishikesah
Prahassan iva Bharata
Prahasannima Bharata
Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Vishidantam idam vachaha.
Vishidantam Vachaha.
Okay. So we only have 2 people, right? So maybe you can, Manish, you can continue reading.
Okay, yeah.
Where is Mataji? Went to temple?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
So this flower packing, like, he took the flower packing duty.
Huh?
He's doing the flower plucking duty.
Okay, so maybe we should move the time earlier in the day.
Yeah, I'm going to like just check with her, like, is he like going to continue or what? Like, so I'll just talk with her.
Yeah. Because initially, believe it or not, when I came to Seattle, she said, Prabhuji, how I want to learn this more. I said, okay, I'll start a batch for you. Right? Otherwise,
yeah.
So this was actually initially started for her, and then both of you joined like that.
Yeah.
Continue.
Okay, Prabhu.
Translation and purport.
Yeah, translation. O descendant of Bharata, at that time Krishna, smiling in the midst of both the armies, spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjuna. Purport. The talk was going on between intimate friends, namely the Rishikesa and the Gudakesa. As friends, both of them were on the same level, but one of them voluntarily became a student of the other. Krishna was smiling because a friend had chosen to become a disciple. As Lord of all, he is always in the superior position as Lord of all, he is always in the superior position as the master of everyone. And yet the Lord agrees to be a friend, a son or a lover for a devotee who wants him in such a role. But when he was accepted as a master, he at once assumed the role and talked with the disciple like the master, with gravity, as it is required. It appears that the talk between the master and the disciple was openly exchanged in the presence of both armies, so that all were benefited. So the talks of Bhagavad Gita are not only for any particular person, society, or community, but they are for all, and friends or enemies are equally entitled to hear them.
Yeah. So who is Bhagavad Gita for?
For everyone.
Everyone, right? Friends or enemies, even if somebody is on the opposite side, you try to give them some knowledge, but if they don't listen, that's fine. You don't get upset with that, right? And Lord is always in a superior position, right? Even if he agrees to be a friend, son, or lover, here he agreed to be Arjuna's friend, but doesn't mean that he is down to the level of Arjuna. No, Arjun was a warrior, Krishna was a warrior, but Krishna has a special position. He's also descended as avatar, right? Ava means descend, Taran means walking around. Just when God descends and walks around doesn't mean he becomes one of us. Just like Srila Prabhupada gives the example, when the governor of the state goes to the jail to see all the
Jail inmates.
inmates. Now, has he become one of the inmate?
No.
No, he comes. He visits everybody. Are kaise chal raha hai? What is happening? Are you getting food on time? He asks the question. Within half an hour, he gets into his car and goes back to his mansion, the governor's mansion or whatever. Doesn't mean that he became one amongst the people in the jail. So Prabhupada, one of the interesting things is he has an example for everything. It's really amazing how he operates. Right?
Right.
So as soon as Arjuna said, I don't know what to do, please help me, Krishna assumed the role of a spiritual master and with gravity. Gravity means now no more friendly talks.
Yeah.
Straight come to the point.
Yeah, and now like Krishna is addressing Arjuna as like a descendant of Bharata.
Right?
So like no as Konte.
No. Arjuna, what descendant of Bharata means Krishna is calling Arjuna because Arjuna is in the Bharat Vamsha.
Yeah.
And Bharata was a great king, right? So he's reminding him, you come in that family, no nonsense. Pay close attention, like that. Arjun is born in Bharat Vamsha.
Yeah.
So he's reminding him that you come from a great family. Bharat Desh is named after Bharat Maharaj. Right? So no more nonsense talks. Pay close attention. That's what he's saying. Like teacher, right? In the students will be chit-chatting, this, that. The teacher will also participate in little bit of joking around and then say, okay, now everybody come back. Now seriousness, huh? Okay, now let's focus on the biology. Like that. So he's bringing the class back to seriousness. Here he's bringing back his disciple to seriousness.
Yeah.
End of the day, this is all emotions, right? If you see, there's a lot of emotions are going on in the first chapter and second chapter.
That's good.
First was, little bit of pride in Arjun. Hey, take me to the center. I want to see who came to fight. Then little bit of fear, little bit of philosophy. If I kill everybody, all the women will be unprotected. Then a little bit of something else. So all emotions are going on. Right? Whether it's God or human being, we like to have these emotions. Okay, so we'll see you next week then.
Okay, bro.
Okay, bro.
So how are you chanting? How many rounds do you chant, Sunil?
I'm chanting 16 rounds. Bro.
Okay, how about you, Manish?
Same, Prabhu. I'm chanting 16 rounds daily.
Okay, good. If you're chanting 16 rounds, most of the doubts should automatically go away because you're taking shelter of Krishna's holy name, right? So slowly your doubts will, and also seva. You have to go work on festivals, clean the pots in the kitchen. When you do these things, automatically doubts will go away.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Okay.
Prabhu, I saw the video which you sent, that discussion. So that person is coming to Seattle?
Yeah, if somebody invites, he'll come.
No, he's saying in that video that he's coming to Seattle.
Oh yeah, you mean the engineer? Yeah, he's coming to Seattle. He's actually driving right now. So tomorrow or day after tomorrow, he will reach Seattle.
What's his name?
His name is Sushil.
Oh, okay.
Sushil Lakshmipati.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know the other two Prabhus. They are on the Instagram. So I mean,
they
I've seen
are
in
famous in Krishna Life. They
yeah.
are monks, basically brahmacharis in Krishna Life in Atlanta.
They distribute a lot of books there.
Oh yeah, they are the world's, like Mahotsaha is world's #1 book distributor.
Uh-huh.
Like one day he will distribute like 500 books like that.
Yeah.
For me, maximum I
Great.
distributed in one day is like 20 books.
Oh, 500 books.
I mean, he'll start at like 8 a.m. He'll keep
Uh-huh.
on going. Like somebody will be supporting him with a rolling bag of books. He'll just keep on giving books, taking donations like that. He's like a machine. Very, very effective. Okay. We'll see you all next week.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.